Right now, somewhere on Earth, someone is choosing the meal with a little warning icon. They have been warned. Their body will also provide a second warning in sweat-based paperwork. The first bite lands, and the mouth reports heat, coughing, tears, and poor life planning. And yet, somehow, the same person nods and says it is good. Think about how strange that is. This is not accidental suffering. This is purchased suffering, a tiny danger signal turned into entertainment. The warning starts in a place your brain trusts too much, the mouth. Capsaicin is not normal flavor arriving politely with a little name tag. It hits heat and pain sensors, and the body reads the message as hot. Not warm, not interesting, hot. The food is not burning your mouth the way fire would, but the alarm system is not famous for nuanced paperwork. So your body reacts like something serious is happening. Sweat, tears, runny nose, coughing, urgent regret. Basically dinner with emergency lighting. And yet the table is still safe? The glass of water is right there, making promises. So the first answer is simple. Spicy food is controlled false danger. But the alarm did not begin at the table. It began with the pepper plant, which had a very different customer service policy. Capsaicin was not a flavor upgrade. It was part of a defense system. Not because the plant hated dinner or held a tiny strategy meeting with a grudge. Evolution just filters what works. For peppers, one problem was mammals chewing fruit and damaging the seeds. A mammal bites, grinds, complains, and possibly ruins the whole delivery system. Birds are different. Many do not feel capsaicin the same way, and they can carry seeds away. So the pepper's heat worked less like seasoning and more like a sign, not for you, please move along. Which is funny, because humans saw that sign and eventually put it on a menu. The trick is that the signal did not change. Capsaicin still presses the same little panic button in the mouth. Your body says heat, danger, possibly paperwork. But at a table, the brain has extra information. There is no fire. There is a glass of water, a chair, and probably someone making it worse by watching. So the same alarm becomes temporary. Not harmless exactly, but survivable. The body reacts seriously because bodies are dramatic little institutions. The mind adds context. I chose this. It will pass, and nobody's actually burning. That is the beginning of benign discomfort. Humans did not turn pain into food because they were confused. They turned a warning into something safe enough to repeat. That sounds like the answer. Humans learn to enjoy spicy flavor, but that is too small. Because spice is not alone. People watch scary movies from couches. They ride machines designed to feel like terrible engineering, but legally. They step into cold water and call it wellness. They run until their lungs file a complaint. The details are different. The structure is familiar. The body says, something is wrong. The mind says, relax, we paid for this. Spice is the tiny edible version of that pattern. Not pain for its own sake, but danger with a table, a glass of water, and rules. But once other people are watching, spice becomes something stranger. It stops being only a private alarm in your mouth. Now it is a signal. You can say without saying it, I can handle this. I belong at this table. I am mature enough, local enough, brave enough, or at least committed to the bit. This is why humans invented sauces with warning labels. A label meant to scare you away somehow becomes an invitation. Basically a tiny edible fitness test, but for your face. Then come the rankings, the peppers, the spice scales, the casual lies. No, it is not hot. Yes, your forehead is filing a complaint. And because the pain is controlled, the group can turn it into pride. Once spice becomes social, it can grow bigger than the chemical reaction. After that, spice can stop feeling like an event. It becomes a standard. A thing people grow up with, argue about, miss, and quietly judge other people for not handling. Very advanced civilization behavior. The same pepper that made one person cough can make another person feel like dinner is finally correct. Not because their mouth is magic, because the body learns and memory learns with it. A little heat can attach itself to a family table, a street corner, a holiday, a region. Sometimes it means welcome. Sometimes it means pride. Sometimes it means someone has decided adulthood begins at try this. Basically a tiny cultural entrance exam served with rice, bread, noodles, or whatever is available. So the pepper did not just enter the mouth, it entered the system around the mouth. So humans did not simply learn to enjoy pain. That would be a little too tidy, also a little concerning. What changed was the setting around the signal. The pepper kept sending the same old warning. Capsaicin still pressed the body's heat alarm. The mouth still filed a small complaint with management, but now the cost was low. There was food, memory, water nearby, and usually no actual emergency. The reward became interesting. The group could watch, laugh, rank, and quietly decide who was pretending. Not pure pain, but controlled discomfort with meaning attached. And suddenly, dinner became a tiny trial you could survive on purpose. So this brings us back to the table. A bottle of hot sauce is not just flavor. It is a tiny alarm system with a cap on it. Then humans add labels, scales, warnings, and little chili icons because of course we do. Extra hot becomes less a description and more a polite threat. Someone sweats, nods, and says they are fine. Maybe their face has filed a formal complaint. But not everyone wants this, and that matters. Tolerance, memory, culture, and personal experience all change what the alarm means. For one person, it is too much. For another, dinner feels unfinished. Same alarm, safely repeated and discussed. And finally, back to the table. The body says danger, the mind says probably fine. And the group, very helpfully, says prove it. That is the whole strange machine in miniature. A pepper's warning became pleasure, habit, identity, and a small ceremony of survival. Not because humans love pain exactly, because safe discomfort can become meaning. So the hot sauce bottle is not just flavor, it is a tiny ancient alarm waiting politely beside dinner.